Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I am Taliesin McKnight, and in today's lesson, I will teach you a very simple technique for learning to control and direct thought, and learning to control and to direct emotion. In a recent video, I talked about how being able to control and direct thought and emotion is a very powerful and essential tool in magic. So, being able to control and direct your thoughts and emotions is a means to an end. And so today I'm going to teach you a very simple technique for learning to control and direct thought and emotion. But also, in addition to this in itself can be a very powerful and simple technique for self-transformation, a very simple technique for practical magic. So this method could be used immediately by a beginner to start getting results, to start manifesting. Okay. So this is a technique that I think is ideal for a beginner to learn to start working with magic. And it's also something for an advanced practitioner that could be a very wonderful and effective tool to add to your arsenal. Okay, so, and this is largely going to be based on a very typical candle meditation. Now, before I begin, I'd like to add that it's very important to question everything, to always think for yourself. And I know that, of course, you guys are already doing that. That's a given. Always be skeptical, always think for yourself, and take these ideas and try them out for yourself. Try them out in your own life and see how they work, and come to your own conclusions. So I'm just presenting different techniques and theories that you could try to work with and either accept or not. And as I always say, whether practical magic is even real or not, or whether you're just watching these videos or whether you're just watching these videos in order to learn this philosophy and how it works, then that's good too. So always come to your own conclusion. But this is the theory of occultism that I'm presenting. And this is the methods and techniques that are applied and used in occultism. So always come to your own conclusion. Now today's lesson, which could immediately be used as a form of practical magic and as a way to learn to control and direct emotion and thought, is based on the simple and very popular candle meditation. Okay, a candle meditation. What is the candle meditation? The candle meditation is a very simple and very effective tool for learning to control and direct your thought. It's a way to learn to concentrate the mind with one-pointed concentration. And basically how it goes is this. You stare at a candle flame and you try to just focus your mind upon this flame. And whenever your mind begins to drift off into what you said the other day to a coworker, or what you're going to have for lunch later, anytime your mind starts to wander, just bring your attention right back to the flame. So that for most of us, our thoughts are always thinking about the past, daydreaming about the future, thinking about what we ate yesterday. And it's very hard for many people to focus the mind with one pointed concentration upon a goal, which in a recent video I talked about as one of the most important tools in Magick, is able to control and direct thought and emotion. So, very simple. Here I have a black candle. I haven't been using black candles at all lately, y'all. Just an example. Take the candle, and I'm about to get into how this in itself can be a powerful tool for practical magic. Okay, so very simple. You take the lit candle flame and you stare at the flame. Try to quiet and focus your mind. Focus your attention on the flame. And when your mind begins to wander, to think about what you said yesterday or whatever, just bring your attention back to the flame. It's that simple. Try to focus your mind upon one thing. This in itself is a powerful tool because you're learning self-discipline, you're learning to focus and concentrate the mind. And later on, you'll learn to concentrate an emotion. So, let's say that the candle represented happiness. You could stare at the candle and try, this is a little bit more advanced. Instead of just paying attention to the flame, you learn to carry that over and pay attention to a specific thought or a specific emotion that you want to bring forth. Okay? And this is going to use color symbolism. And this is where this gets practical. So the popular candle meditation is a very simple tool to just learn to concentrate the mind upon one thing. Now, how can this become practical? You can take this very concept and apply it to you can apply this to focus the thought upon a goal with one pointed concentration, or to focus on an emotion with one pointed concentration. So in the context of ritual, it's very important to be able to focus the mind and the emotions to get all of your being, mind, body, emotions, your whole being immersed in the symbolic ritual that is going on. So color symbolism. Color symbolism. And this is really going into candle magic. And the reason that I always focus on candle magic is because it is the most simple method. I understand that many of my viewers are very advanced, and yet a lot of my viewers are very new. And to try to be able to help both sides, it's important to always go back to these things. So color symbolism is often used in candle magic. So certain colors represent certain things. Red represents desire. Think of a red hot flame or red hot piece of metal or something. Red represents desire, sex, lust, passion, love, any kind of a passion. It represents raw energy. Red. So with a red candle, you can use this on manifesting sex, love, desire, things like that. Green is associated with money. Here in the United States, it's the color of money. Green is also a color that's associated with the planet Venus. It's associated with green, greenery. green plants that grow and bloom. So it's a symbol of fertility and growth. Okay, yellow is a symbol of knowledge, education, communication, popularity, and social gatherings. Blue is a soothing color that's associated with peace of mind and all of that. So how could you use this in practical terms? Well, it's very simple. You're taking this idea of being able to focus the mind and apply it to a goal. So if you want to find a new job, meditate upon a green candle, and instead of just a flame, focus on your goal with one pointed concentration and faith. I will get a new job. Focus your mind upon the flame. So if you want, basically you're focusing your mind on what you want to manifest. Okay? Now, before you start trying to adapt changes out there, before you start trying to focus on things in order to create synchronicities and things like that, before you start trying to make changes out there, it's important to start off trying to make changes within yourself, to be able to transmute unhealthy or unconducive internal emotional and thought patterns. So when you can learn to transmute your own thought patterns and emotions and ways of thinking, then it'll become much easier to affect the external environment. So you have two realms that you work in. You have the macrocosm, which comes from two Greek words, macros, meaning bigger, cosmos, world. So the bigger world, which is the environment, and then you have the microcosmos, which means in Greek micro, little, cosmos, world, is your own inner life. So you have an interlay of two forces or two places of focus. This circle, which is the circumference, represents your environment. And you yourself are the point in the center of the circle. Okay? You are the point. This is the microcosm. This is you. This is your environment and this is you, symbolically. You are the hub of your own wheel. The circumference of the circle is your environment. You are the hub. You are the center. I guess you can take this to a thelemic standpoint of Hadi to Nuit. This is, you are the center of your own will. So in this symbolism, you are the point in the circle, which is the environment. So many of us focus on, we're all taught by society, we're taught in school, we're taught by our parents to try to focus on changing the external world. But very few of us really focus on working on our own inner world, to work upon the inner life of man, to be able to work upon your own inner self. And self-transformation and inner work results in a better control on the environment. So, and besides that, for several other reasons, I think it's good to start off this meditation with yourself. Even if you're an advanced practitioner, I think learning to work with this for yourself is much more important to start off with. So, now we get to the practical side. How do you use this? Let's say, and we're talking in terms of our own self-transformation, let's say that you've been depressed. Maybe, maybe there's a reason to be depressed or whatever. But let's say you're just really depressed lately. So you take a yellow candle. Yellow is a symbol of social gatherings, education, communication, but it's also a symbol of happiness. So you take a yellow candle, and for you, in this context, yellow will be a symbol of happiness. So let's say this is a yellow candle. Yellow is a symbol of happiness here, if this was theoretically yellow. You light the candle, and you just focus upon the emotion of happiness. You focus on being happy. Focus on this emotion of happiness with one point of concentration and stare at the flame. Think happiness, happiness, happiness. Just focus your mind on a feeling of happiness. And if your mind starts to think, I'm not happy, this was silly, just dismiss that. Bring your attention back to the emotion of happiness and the yellow color and its cheerful associations. Don't let the mind wander when you start to think about what happened at work the other day, or, some person that you think is hot and attractive. Just bring your attention right back to the flame, y'all. Bring your attention right back to the flame. Happiness. Focus on this emotion. Focus on being happy. Believe that you're happy. Happiness. I'm happy. I'm happy. Stare at the flame. Believe that you're happy. Just focus on happiness. Happiness. Do this for 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Starting off. Later you may extend the time to 30 minutes, an hour, whatever. So in that situation, you can see how you're learning to transmute emotion into happiness. And it's immediately obvious why this could be a very powerful technique. Now, in this context, it's not really debatable whether it works or not. It's just a fact. This works. Okay, I shouldn't have said that. We'll put it this way. If you're feeling depressed and you try this and then you feel happy, then you know that it works. Whatever the case may be, I've done this many times. If you're depressed and you do this meditation and then you feel happy, then it has worked. Period. It produces results. It works. You learn how to take a state of unhappiness and put it into happiness. And of course, working with this meditation, the candle is really just a tool. Later on, you'll learn how to do this naturally. You'll learn to transmute emotion and thought, which is a very powerful tool in life. Okay? Let's say that you're anxious. You're full of anxiety. You're very full of anxiety and you're worried and, oh my God, all the stress at work, and I'm a stockbroker and I feel like I'm going to go out of my head with all the stress. Stress, or maybe you have problems with anxiety. Okay? Maybe you have problems with anxiety. So what do? If you have problems with anxiety, how can you work upon yourself in a natural way of just simply learning to transmute? The color blue. A blue candle. A blue candle. And of course, different cultures have different color symbolism, whatever. But as we're doing it here, blue is a symbol of calm, peace, serenity. In candle magic, it's often used for peace in the home, things like that. So, same thing. If you're worried or anxious or stressed out, take a blue candle Take some deep breaths. Release. Just think peace, calm. Peace. This is a black candle, I know, but if it was blue, stare at the blue candle. Peace. Breathe in. Peace. Focus on a feeling of peace. Peace. Just stare at the flame and just focus on peace. Believe that you're peaceful. Focus on being peaceful, just peace. Stare at the candle flame. And when your mind starts to wander into the past or the future or what you said in an argument the other day, bring your attention back to the candle flame, peace. So, in this context, you're learning to think of peace, to bring about inner peace in yourself. Whenever you're anxious, try this out. Again, whether this works or not, it's not really... You are experimenting. And you are logging results, hopefully. It's good to have a diary where you write down whatever ritual, whatever experiment you do, and then write down any kind of results that occur. That is what I do, and this is a way to take theory, apply it as an experimentation, and see what results occur. And this is how I do it, and this is a way that as I try each thing out, I see what results occur. So that's for inner peace. I mean, this could be applied for all kinds of things. A black candle could be used for getting rid of. You could come up... I quit smoking this way. Not with this particular candle. In my earlier videos, I always had a cigarette. And it's not because I smoked at all times. It's because I was nervous. Now I'm calm. But earlier in my videos, it helped me to calm my mind, I think. But I quit smoking by using these types of techniques. So in my own life, I know that this works for me. I quit smoking like this. So black candle could be used for focusing on how you dislike cigarettes. Cigarettes are nasty. Cigarettes taste gross, whatever. Come up with a specific emotion, light the black candle. Or you dislike junk food. Junk food is gross. Or if you're trying, let's say that you're madly in love with someone that's always abusive and beating you up. I'm pretty sure many of us have had this experience of being in love with someone that makes us miserable, that hurts our lives, that we need to get away from. Well, you can use this candle to focus on, how do I put this? On not feeling love, on feeling, just feeling ambivalent about them. Feeling cold, feeling ambivalent, like you're not madly in love with them. So you can use this to try to distance yourself emotionally from this person that's wrecking your life. And I know from experience that this works. This is a powerful tool for self-transformation. Let's say that you have bad self-esteem, red candle, focus on being sexy. I'm sexy. I'm sexy. I'm a sexy, hot man. I'm sexy, I'm sexy, I'm sexy. Focus on the red candle. If you feel that you have bad conversation skills, yellow candle. I'm popular, I'm popular, I'm popular. I have good memory. I have good memory if you're a student. So this is a way to apply this in your life. Now, once you have learned to create changes within yourself, and this is a lot like self-hypnosis. Okay? Self-hypnosis is to get into a relaxed state and to repeat a suggestion. What you're doing with the candle flame is a relaxed hypnotic state. It is a trance state. It is total relaxation, one-pointed focus. This is hypnosis in a way. Hypnosis comes from the Greek word hypnos, which means sleep. It produces results. In the same way, this is self-hypnosis, essentially. You're getting into a relaxed state, and instead of repeating an affirmation, I'm happy, you're just focusing on the thought. This is very effective. One-pointed concentration. So, this is a very powerful tool. Now, once we get past this own working on ourselves, we get to working on external things. You want to find a new job. You want to bring a new love into your life. You want to have more friends. You want to have better grades in college or school. Which really the things I just talked about could also affect that. If you feel you're sexy, it will automatically make you more attractive to others. Because people pick up on body language and your own self-image. If you feel that you're more effective in school, then you'll produce better grades. You'll focus more. If you feel confident in finding a job, that inner confidence will come out in interviews and everything else. So just that inner work itself does help to produce these results. Now, if theoretically consciousness and matter are in some way related, so that if your expectation of events somehow affects how things play out, if there's such a thing as synchronicity, then this is the tools to kind of make this happen. This is the tool that kind of is said to make all this work. Okay? So if you want to find a new job, get a green candle. I'm getting a new job. I'm getting a new job. I'm getting a new job. I'm successful in my new job. Focus on this thought and just stare at the candle as a meditation. Whatever you're doing, you take the same idea and you focus it on manifesting out there in the world. And this is basically candle magic in a nutshell. Now in candle magic, you may add in a chant that you repeat, or you'll add in certain stones, herbs, plants, smells, whatever, symbols to it for candle magic. But this, you're basically learning to manifest just by this exercise. Now, we have come through this part of the lesson on focusing on a candle. Of course, you could apply it in other ways. You can create a symbol of your goal and stare at that symbol. Okay? Just like you have sigil magic, but in that case it's a little different. You create a symbol of your goal, then you forget it, and then you have a state of gnosis, so to speak, while staring at it. But you know, you can create a symbol of your goal. Instead of, if you don't want to do the candle, create a symbol of your desire. Focus on that symbol. Same basic concept. Now, totally other aspect to today's lesson, y'all. I'd like to ask a question. Where does ritual, what's considered a ritual, end? Is there a boundary between ritual and everyday life? Personally, I think there is, because that's what a ritual is a concentration. It's a point of focus. So this ritual, this is total concentration upon a goal. And then you go to your everyday life and forget about it. Oh, by the way, one thing people find as useful in these meditations is whenever you're finished meditating on your goal, because here's the thing. Many people, when they meditate upon their candle, I'm popular, I'm successful, or whatever you're doing, when they end it, many people find it hard not to go into negative thinking. I'm not happy, I'm not, or whatever. So when you end it, it's very important not to enter into the opposite way of thinking. So this is what I do. Take a deep breath, and you're going to focus on releasing it. And this, in a sense, is releasing the thought to the subconscious. Whether that's really the case, or whether this is just a useful tool to get you to see it that way, Just take a deep breath at the end of it. At the end of your meditation, take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, release. And then immediately think about something else. I go to the fridge and get something to eat. Pour something to drink. Eat, drink. Think about football. Think about my buddies. Think about my buddies and whatever. Just focus your mind on something else. Okay? So that's what I do when I end the meditation. Deep breath, release it, go immediately think about, put my mind on something else. So this releases it to the subconscious, theoretically, and it prevents you from going into any kind of negative thinking afterwards. Release, think of something else. But where does ritual end and life begin? You could say that ritual is a concentration. Taking this same concept, and I think this really is part of the science of feng shui, which I always try to talk about Western things, so I don't really mention that stuff, but okay, so you could take certain colors. Let's say you want to feel sexy. Put on a red dress or a red shirt or whatever, and use this color symbolism in your everyday life. Wear the color blue. Certain stones represent certain things. You could wear a certain stone as jewelry. Have it near you. Carry that stone. This is the basic concept of an amulet, which is an object that you feel is an affirmation that something is going to occur, okay? Talismans go way deeper than that. That's over-psychologizing. There are many different levels and ways to look at this. At ritual magic, I'm just looking at the more psychological way of looking at it. Plants. Certain plants represent certain things, okay? So having certain plants, maybe at work you have a certain plant, or in your home you have a potted plant that represents something. So basically you're surrounding yourself with things that bring to mind your goal. You're basically using symbol as a tool to focus, to bring this into your everyday life, to be able to focus on these positive things, to believe them, and to use symbol, okay? So that's just a thought. But anyways, that's going off into other things, y'all. Basic focus of today was candle meditation and how to make this practical. This that I just taught you, that I just did in this video, talked about, is a very powerful tool for practical magic. Very simple. This is ideal for the beginner. And for an advanced practitioner, this is great too. So anyways, thank you for joining me, and see y'all next time. Have a great day, y'all.